Welkom by hierdie week se Agri-Monitor en hier praat ons landbou. Back and close hier. Dit is die onderwerp van die week. Verskeie topmanne in die landbousektor het hulle self uitgespreek oor back and close hierdie afgelope tyd. Die voorsitter van die rooi vleisprodusente organisasie, Frik van Rooyen, het tydens die LPO se kongres gesê back and close hier is besig om die land se vleisbedryf daarso uitmekaar uit te trek daarso. Dan die LPO voorsitter Jaco van Wyk en die NLI uitvoerende bestuurder Roelie van Vieren was by die rooi vleis, kom ons kyk hierso by die rooi vleis vergadering, rooi vleisforum in Suid-Afrika gewees en daar het hulle ook gepraat oor die erns van back and close hier en die belangrikheid van biosekuriteit. Nou in hierdie week se program kyk ons na Dr. Emmanuel Hikufe. Hy is die hoofveearts by die veeartsenydienste van die regering. In sy toespraak het hy ook by die LPO kongres gepraat oor back and close hier in Namibië en hoe belangrik dit is dat ons onsself moet beskerm teen hierdie siekte wat as dit uitbreek in Namibië, dan kan ons uitvoerstatus verloor en dan ons hele landbou-ekonomie in stukke. Dan ook in hierdie week se program kyk ons na Paul Klein van Agra Veilings. Hy is die uitvoerende bestuurder daarso. Hy het gepraat tydens die Agra Speenkalf Kampioenskap se toekenningsaand. Agra kon tydens hierdie kampioenskap reeks dit regkry om 70 miljoen Namibiese dollar terug in die Namibiese landbousektor in te ploeg. En dan laastens begin ons met die eerste gedeelte van die aanbieding deur die varkboerderykenners Duncan Stevenson, wys van Suid-Afrika af, en hy praat oor biosekuriteit op varkplase. Nou biosekuriteit op varkplase en biosekuriteit op beesplase teen back and close hier. Ek dink 'n mens sal kan leer uit albei daai. Geniet hierdie week se program en as jy die volle aanbiedings wil kyk, gaan dit is op YouTube. Baie dankie.
Looking for your next favorite show? Tune in and dive into the action, the flavor, and the stories that move you. Get moving with Flicks, where fitness meets fun. For the little adventures, it's active kids, energy, games, and endless excitement. And if you're hungry for ideas, What's Cooking serves up delicious recipes and kitchen tips you can't miss. Dreaming of your future? Career Chronicles brings inspiring stories from professionals shaping tomorrow. En vir die jongstes wat nuuskierig is, Blitsfokus bring jou vinnige, vars nuus en stories net daar waar dit gebeur. For the youth, by the youth, Generation C connects, inspires and entertains. Don't forget to start your mornings right with Smell the Coffee. Laughter, conversation, and your daily dose of motivation. Do make sure to catch the latest entertainment news with chill, culture, lifestyle, and stories from your community. And don't miss Sports Wrap, all the highlights, analysis, and unforgettable moments from the world of sports. Your favorite shows, your favorite stories, all in one place. Don't miss out. This is My Zone TV.
I'm Emmanuel Hikufe, as it was introduced. I'm a chief veterinarian, and I'm doing this presentation on behalf of the CVO. The new CVO, Dr. Kenneth Shombe, is not able to be here with us today. He traveled to Maputo on another important task. So my aim today, and I have some colleagues also here. I think they will join us soon. One of my colleagues is outside. She's just answering the phone. So what we are asked to do here is to discuss on the impact of foot and mouth disease, if it occurs, and also the practical implication or practical implementation of the contingency plan, of the FMD contingency plan. So I'll go straight to do just that. So I'm aware a lot of you know what foot and mouth disease is, so I'm not going to go into details on what it is, what are the signs and all that, but as we go, we will mention a few words on what it is. However, let me just go straight to address this one. Just with a little introduction. What is foot and mouth disease? It's a viral disease of cloven-hoofed animals, the animals that have the two claws, not claws, hoofs, okay? And it's highly contagious, meaning that it can spread to a lot of animals within a short period of time, especially if the area that is infected does not vaccinate, okay? So the disease can affect or can infect over 80%, but sometimes it can even infect all 100% of the animals in that kraal or in that area. In 2015, when it came to the north, we go to the kraal, and every animal, every single animal in there is slimping or salivating because we had stopped vaccinating, and when it came, all the animals were naive. So it can affect or infect every animal in the kraal or in that area. Of course, there are 7 serotypes of the virus. I'm not also going to go into deep detail. In SADC, we have the serotype A, 1, 2, and 3. That is the commonly, those are the 3 common serotypes in SADC. However, we know these serotypes are also in Middle East, in the Middle East and in some Asian countries, meaning that this disease can spread. It can go anywhere. All right. So in Namibia, the country is subdivided into 3 foot and mouth disease control zones. We have a free zone, that is now this area, from Orange River to Oshivelo, to the veterinary cordon fence, or the formerly known red line. It's free, and we are not vaccinating against foot and mouth disease. We have a protection zone, that is now the northern, let me just go to the map. So this is the free zone, this big area. The protection zone is a green area. There we vaccinate 2 times against foot and mouth disease. And the reason is, and why is it called the protection zone? It is protecting the free zone. And we are vaccinating 2 times there to make sure that the disease doesn't spill over to the free zone if it gets into the protection zone. Then we have the infected zone, that is the Zambezi region and the Mupe constituency of the Kavango East region. It's called infected, not because it's always infected. It's because of the free roaming African buffaloes that are there. And then they are carrying the virus all the time, so we can as well just call it infected. However, cattle don't have, as we speak now, we don't have an active outbreak in cattle, but it's still called an infected area because of the risk of the virus that is in there. Now, let's look at the situation in SADC. Eswatini was recently infected, and they lost their status. Zimbabwe, of course, they didn't have a status, but they are also infected. South Africa got infected in 2019, and up to now they are battling the disease. The 5 provinces got infected, and there's a lot of outbreaks that are still not resolved. And recently, a week or 2 weeks ago, they also reported new cases in Northwest, was Northwest province. Just recently, I think a week ago or 2, meaning that the disease is continuing in that country. Zambia doesn't have a status. Botswana has a status, but they have also a part that is not recognized. Angola doesn't have a status. So we are actually surrounded by countries that either have an active outbreak or they are not recognized. It's free. And that means there's also a risk of foot and mouth disease there. Now, if you look at the world map, here, our map, green means protection and the white color means free, but it's the other way around here. We will adjust ours to talk to these ones, the colors. Here, the dark green colors means foot and mouth disease, freedom without vaccinating, and that is the highest status of foot and mouth disease we can get, okay? You can see Namibia has that one, and Botswana, okay? So, and Lesotho, this one. This is Eswatini, they lost it. And the red color means you are recently suspended. South Africa is not red because after 24 months, if you don't regain it, after losing it, after it's been suspended, you just don't have it. You are just like Angola or any other country. Okay? So if you look at the colors, you can see the whole Africa. It's only Namibia, Botswana, and then Lesotho. And of course, Madagascar, but they don't really have a lot of animals there. So the whole Africa is gray, meaning that they don't have a status. Many Asian countries as well. You know, you can see even in some Latin America also have, Latin, right? Yes, also have countries that are not recognized. The light green means you are free with vaccination. And this is not a status that is desirable. The desirable one is the dark green one. So we have something to protect here. This is dark green color. We have something to protect. We are surrounded by countries that are not free. All right, so these are just some figures of how many animals we have. Of course, this may be a few corrections there. May not be too accurate. So we have about 2.9 million goats, or 2.5 million cattle, 2.1 million sheep, and then 2.9 million goats. In the south, which is in the free zone, and those are the figures, 1.2 to 1.5 actually cattle, about 2 million goats, sheep, and about 1 million goats. Okay. So now let's go to what is the economic importance of foot and mouth disease? Why the disease can affect 100% of the cattle, but it doesn't really kill a lot of animals. But why is it so important if it doesn't really kill? Because in about 3 weeks, a cow can recover. Why is it so important if it's not that deadly? Lots of lucrative markets. If you have foot and mouth disease, no one wants to deal with you. The European markets, USA, China, they will close. They will just tell you, you have a disease, we are not going to trade with you.
Ons sit nou vanaand hier so in 3 groepe, ons sentraal groep, suide groep en dan ook die noorde groep, net om vir julle so vinnig te gee. En sentraal het ons gedoen so 3.500 of 3.300 kalwers met 'n gemiddelde kopprys van $7,500, $7,580, gemiddelde gewig 210 kg teen 'n gemiddelde prys oor die hele reeks van $36.16. Die noorde, ek weet nie wat daar gebeur het nie. Ek dink almal het kalwers gehou vir Savannah beef. 3.270 kalwers, kopprys, gemiddelde kopprys 7.250, gemiddelde gewig van 203 kg met 'n prys van $35.73 gemiddeld. En dan in die suide. En mense het die ding terugtel, want as jy gaan kyk, ons suide kopers moet ongelukkig hulle kalwers in die grootste gedeelte van die tyd met hulle kalwers terugry noorde kant toe voor hulle kan uitgaan. Maar ons suide manne, en ek wil hulle geluk wens, 2061 kalwers aangebied, ons gemiddelde kopprys, $7,596. So oor die reeks was ons suide kalwers die duurste gewees, ons het 'n gemiddelde gewig gehandhaaf van 228.57 kg. Die ander ons die kommas gehad nie, ons het kommas in die suide. Ons moet dit noem, anders is ons dat nie kleinveeprodusente. Maar ons gemiddelde prys per kilogram $33.23. So as jy wil gaan soek vir swaar kalwers, die manne wat vir Savannah beef van store koop, ry suide toe. Dis waar die swaar kalwers loop. Right. Dan weer eens goeie kwaliteit regdeur en dit was vir ons ongelooflik lekker om dit te kan meemaak. Dan moet ons nou veranderinge kom in die goedertjies. Iewers moet ons verandering bring. En wat ons gaan kyk het, daar is 'n sekere markverskywing, daar is 'n sentiment wat besig is om te verander en ons moet daarvoor kyker. So vir volgende jaar gaan ons 'n klein veranderingkie inbring. En dit is dat ons veldpotentiaal kalwers gaan ons definitief volgende jaar penaliseer. Nie is wat iemand sulke kalwers koop. Ons gaan definitief volgende jaar 'n penalisasie inbring vir veldpotentiaal kalwers wat nie gekastreer is nie. As jy gaan kyk, baie van ons is 'n koeiboerdery bedryf. Ons sit in 'n omgewing waar die manne wil graag kalwers inkoop, vra vir Flippie. Hy het al 'n paar keer gehang met stoor kalwers wat nie gekastreer is nie. En Flippie het net 'n klein erfie na Tjorango. Die ouens soek skoon kalwers, skoon goed onthoring. As jy wil kyk hoe lyk dit, ry dan as jy die haker doen. As jy wil kyk hoe lyk 'n kalf wat goed gekastreer is, goed onthoring is, reg voorberei is vir 'n veiling. Ons sê daai kalf was uitsonderlik geweest hoor. Maar ons moet gaan kyk, wat soek ons mark? Ons is besig om te beweeg in 'n nismark, uitvoermark, waar ons met 'n goeie produk op die tafel moet kom. En ek dink dit raak nodig om die ou wat daai kalf moet produseer op moet deurvat op die slagplek. En slagtyd moet ons 'n kalf neersit wat wel aan daai vereistes voldoen. So verseker is daar 'n verskywing in die mark en ons moet daarvoor kyk. So ons sal graag wil penaliseer op kalwes wat vir die veldpotensiaal spesifiek voorberei is en ingeskryf word dat hulle wel gekastreer is. Dan om jy af te sluit wil ek graag my span by Agra reg deur elke agent, elke administratiewe persoon ensovoorts bedank vir die effort, vir die moeite, vir die nie moeite nie. Vir julle doen ons nie moeite nie. Dis vir ons net lekker om vir julle te werk. Maar vir die attitude, as ek dit so in mooi Afrikaans kan uitdruk, en dit is my laaste Engels ook. By die veilingspunte, die sortering van kalwers, die inskrywing van kalwers, die hantering ensovoorts, die organisasie ensovoorts. Baie dankie. Dan aan ons borge verseker. Dit gaan nog vanaand 'n paar keer oorkom, maar ons borge, dis een van die dinge. Hier is ons met die 6 en die half dosyn stories. Ons het produsente nodig, maar in hierdie geveg het ons borge ook nodig en ek wil vir julle sê baie dankie vir julle bydrae om weer eens 'n sukses te maak van ons bedryf. Dan net so vir 'n nismakertjie. Ons almal wag ons nou hierdie pryssprongetjie moet kom. Iewers moet Timmy, ons moet beslag aan die syde geld want die behalwe dan by julle spring die reënval ons. Julle is mos nou in die natsiklus. Die syde met 80 mm is nou los in die natsiklus. Net om julle te gee, vandag se pryse, ons het 2 veilings gehad hierdie week, of dan nou vandag spesifiek, en net om te wys wat aan die gebeur is nou. Dan om jy af te sluit wil ek graag my span by Agra reg deur elke agent, elke administratiewe persoon ensovoorts bedank vir die effort, vir die moeite, vir die nie moeite nie. Vir julle doen ons nie moeite nie. Dis vir ons net lekker om vir julle te werk. Maar vir die attitude, as ek dit so in mooi Afrikaans kan uitdruk, en dit is my laaste Engels ook. By die veilingspunte, die sortering van kalwers, die inskrywing van kalwers, die hantering ensovoorts, die organisasie ensovoorts. Baie dankie. Dan aan ons borge verseker. Dit gaan nog vanaand 'n paar keer oorkom, maar ons borge, dis een van die dinge. Hier is ons met die 6 en die half dosyn stories. Ons het produsente nodig, maar in hierdie geveg het ons borge ook nodig en ek wil vir julle sê baie dankie vir julle bydrae om weer eens 'n sukses te maak van ons bedryf. Dan net so vir 'n nismakertjie. Ons almal wag ons nou hierdie pryssprongetjie moet kom. Iewers moet Timmy, ons moet beslag aan die syde geld want die behalwe dan by julle spring die reënval ons. Julle is mos nou in die natsiklus. Die syde met 80 mm is nou los in die natsiklus. Net om julle te gee, vandag se pryse, ons het 2 veilings gehad hierdie week, of dan nou vandag spesifiek, en net om te wys wat aan die gebeur is, nou syde mense druk nou maar die ore toe. Pieter, julle moet nou nie daar, trek so $3 'n kilo af, as ons daar aan die hele kant toe gaan. Ons spaar ons dan op transport. Dan nie. Net of julle idee te gee, vandag se tolliepryse op Windhoek en Otjiwarongo, gemiddelde gewig op Windhoek vandag, 214 kg, ons gemiddelde tollieprys $42.99, dit is hoogste prys vandag op die dag $46.50. As ons Otjiwarongo gaan kyk, die tollie gemiddeld 205 kg, $42.85 is ons gemiddeld, en dan $46.31 as ons gemiddelde kilogram, die hoogste prys per kilo wat betaal is. Ek is doodseker as hy nou die afslaer was, tot bietjie beter gedoen. Maar verse, baie interessant, maar dit is op 'n stelling bietjie plat gedruk op die verse. Verse gemiddeld in Windhoek 214 kg, selfde gewig as die tollies, $41.32 met Otjiwarongo op $37.83 op verse wat se 225 geweg het. En dan vir u wat belangstel in ons bedryf en 'n bietjie kyk na wat er gebeur is en waar ons op pad is. Vandag het ons gemiddeld gegaan oor die 2 veilings, $39 'n kilo met onderskeidelik 460 en 550 kg per os. So daar's definitief is daar 'n bietjie lig in daai tonnel en ek dink met die vroeë reën, met die vooruitsigte van reën en die huidige stand van ons veidingstoestand ensovoorts, kan dit met ons net goed gaan in die volgende paar maande. So om af te sluit wil ek vir julle sê, weer eens Agra, en ek het vanaand verstaan van al die kamborgers die buitekant was, dat daar is definitief die CPI plus 15% bydra by volgende jaar. Hulle is almal committed, ingeskakel, ons sê vir julle baie dankie daarvoor. Ons van ons kant af, Agra se kant af, definitief committed en ek het verstaan dat ons produsente is ook reg vir die volgende reeks. Dit was vir ons regtig 'n plesier om saam met julle te werk gedurende hierdie jaar. En ek wil vir elkeen vanaand sê, baie dankie dat julle hier so is. Geniet die aand saam met ons. As by die prysuitdeling kom, baie geluk aan elkeen wat vanaand 'n prys ontvang. Ek kan vir julle dit sê, uit 9000 kalvers uitsit ons met 9 produsente wat uit 9000 kalvers vanaand hier so sit vir ware prestasie. Baie geluk en baie dankie dat julle hier so is.
Life is unpredictable and one needs to be protected against any eventuality. Get Santam legal access from as little as $50 Namibian a month for when you find yourself in need of legal representation due to civil cases, criminal prosecution, and family matters such as divorce, child maintenance, and custody. It also covers labor disputes, disciplinary hearings, and unfair dismissal or retrenchment. With Santam Legal Access, you'll receive free legal advice on almost every legal aspect, whether the specific matter is covered by your policy or not. For true peace of mind and legal protection when you need it most, call us on 061 292 8000. Santam. This is freedom.
Always a pleasure to visit Namibia, and more importantly, always a pleasure to be with pig farmers, because we're a group of people that are providing protein, food that's needed, and as the previous speaker showed, there's potential and there's growth in the world's most popular meat currently. Now, for my presentation on biosecurity, your money as pig farmers is lying inside your piggery. The buildings inside there, your pigs that you've got, that's like the money in the account. That's what you've got. That's the valuable asset you have. The problem is, what's going to take it potentially away? What can destroy that money? Like a scammer will take the money out of your account. What can take the pigs out of your business quickly? Disease, absolutely. It can wipe it out overnight. From today, you've got money in your account. Tomorrow, the scammer is there and he's got it all and it's gone. Pig farming, exactly the same. We can have a good, healthy piggery and the pigs are doing well and we're slaughtering, hopefully in our own abattoir, and we're producing at a good price and we're making money on it today. And tomorrow, suddenly, it's all over. And the reason for biosecurity being so important is those photos there. Those are farms that have been affected with African swine fever. And look what has to happen to them. Every single animal has to be destroyed. In South Africa now, we have 2 new cases of African swine fever in the Western Cape. One in the town most of you will know, Malmesbury, 3 weeks ago. We have 52 emerging farmers there affected with African swine fever.
52 pigs or 52?
52 farmers. 52 farmers. In Bradasdorp, this week confirmed 14 emerging farmers, all African swine fever affected. All right. It is fatal. From having that account with money in to tomorrow having nothing. And then to restart, it takes such a lot of effort to clean and to make sure you can eventually restart. And then you've got to take the risk. Are you again going to start up? Right. So that's African swine fever. 2 new cases now. And then you've all heard what's happened with foot and mouth disease in South Africa. Now, there's only one reason why foot and mouth disease has spread all over South Africa. Why is that? What are we talking about? Biosecurity, absolutely. That's the only reason. The only reason why it spread from one farm to the next to the next. You know how many cases of foot and mouth disease we now have in South Africa? 290 farms. 290 farms.
En daar het julle dit vir hierdie week se program Back and Closer en biosekuriteit. As biosekuriteit nie 'n topprioriteit op jou plaas is nie, dan vra jy net vir moeilikheid. Ons het geluister na Dr. Hikufe wat gepraat het oor sy Back and Closer tydens die LPO se kongres. Dan het ons ook gekyk na Agra se Paul Klein wat oor die Agra Speenkalf Kampioenskap reeks gepraat het waar hulle 70 Namibiese dollar terug in die landbousektor ingeplaas het. En dan het ons begin met die eerste van heel wat dele van biosekuriteit op varkplase deur Duncan Stevenson. Ek hoop julle het dit geniet.